What up, world? Thank you guys for checking on my channel. And this video is about why you need to save a little of yourself in every relationship. You can't share everything with everybody. You can't give everybody all of you because everybody doesn't know what to do with all of you. All right, we always got our hand out. We want more, in life, in love, food, relationships, sex, information. We are the consumers. We want so much. And when we see a limitation, we have a natural inclination to ask for more. Give me more of your time. I don't see you enough. Give me more of your energy. Give me more of your attention. Blah, blah, blah. The problem is, if you invest everything that you have in everybody or in the people that are important in your life, you have nothing for yourself, okay? And if something goes wrong, unfortunately, you're usually the one left to try to pick up the pieces, to try to fix the situation. What did I do? I gave him what they wanted. I gave him what he wanted. The problem is we don't want everything that a person has to offer. We think we do, but usually we can't handle it and we can't appreciate it. And just like when you were a kid, your parents was like, don't eat that candy right now, or save some for later, or don't do that, or don't watch TV, all night long because it's going to hurt your eyes or you won't finish your homework. Moderation is key. And a lot of women have problems when relationships don't work out, trying to find their way back to themselves because they just spent a year or 2 years or 5 years invested in this relationship where they gave everything they had to this person who doesn't want it anymore. And it's hard because you want to be mad at that person. You want to say, oh my God, I hate him. He destroyed. No, he didn't. He did what everybody does when they reach the end of something, when they reach the end of what you have to offer. It's like, all right, because life is about constantly finding new things. It's about new experiences. If you knew that this was how your life was going to be day in and day out for the rest of it, these are the friends you have, this is the job you have, this is the money, that will probably get really old really fast. You might think, no, I like routine, I like structure. Yeah, until you want to break out of that box and run away just because. And most of us do. We like the idea of meeting somebody new for the first time, or the jittery feeling that we get when we have a new friendship, a new relationship, a new job, a new opportunity, or we see something new. And that's the thing, when it comes to being in relationships, we think that being more open and sharing everything is actually helping the relationship, when in fact, you have to temper everything. You have to temper the attention that you give them. You have to temper the attention that they give you. You have to learn how to respect. We usually respect people's boundaries. We don't like it because we see it as a roadblock, but we respect it because it's like, something to work for. Guys are like that in relationships too. You can't give them everything. They'll tell you they want it. They'll ask for it. They'll beg for it. But guess what? As soon as you do, you've lost half of their attention. You might not notice it right away, but they're not crawling and clawing in because it's like they see you. And as soon as you do something that they haven't seen yet, it's almost like something new. Wow. Like you have to do that. I was reading Robert Greene is one of my favorite authors. He wrote 48 Laws of Power, but he wrote a book called The Art of Seduction. And there was a section in the book where he was talking about how just the slightest, I don't advocate starting fights. I'm not that girl because, that shit can backfire on you and you be stuck trying to figure out how you got here. But just a slight little bit of tension in a relationship can kind of rekindle a flame, and he talked about how there's this game that's constantly being played, not necessarily consciously, but when it comes to intimacy, and in sexual relationships, there's a dance, a delicate dance, of exchange and energy and power and submission that you have to really kind of fall into and not become a victim of, because then you're going to be bitter if you're like, oh my God, because you can't give everything. Trust me when I tell you this, you can't give everything. And as soon as you start investing more in yourself, spending more time doing projects that you like to do, figuring out, like, even if you got to just like create a day to be by yourself and just like say you got some girlfriends and you really don't. I don't care what you have to do. But you need to create a world that he is not a part of, that your significant other is not a part of. Because if you're constantly clinging on to them or expecting them to be your other half or complete you, the moment that they pull away, you're done. Peace.